This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Erica Cobb, what day is today?
It's Friday!
Yeah! October 18th. I'm here with Erica and Stephanie. I'm Jeff. Brandon has the night off. Let's jump right in, guys. Lady Gaga, guess what? She had a boo-boo. She and a fan took a nasty fall off stage at her show. Look at that! That was last night in Vegas. And if you look at it from another angle, you see his legs buckle right there before he loses his balance, sending them both crashing to the floor like WWE style. But later she brought him back on stage and they sang a sweet duet, but probably not as steamy as the one she did with Bradley Cooper. Ooh, any chance to bring that back? We will.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that fall, Steph?
Okay, so that's the first time I've seen the fall, and oh my gosh, that was pretty bad,
It was pretty bad.
But like, okay, this is what confuses me. Like, some pop stars, like Beyonce or Rihanna, they really keep their distance, you know, from fans. So they'll sing to them, they maybe hold their hands out, you know, grab their finger, but she was literally kind of straddled him.
Why did she do that?
That's what I mean. Like, it's kind of like, and also you got to think, he's holding her whole body weight, he's dancing around on a stage in front of lots of people, and let's be honest, she might be used to doing things like that,
right.
but he's just a normal guy that probably has never been in front of that many people in his life.
And nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stage fright is a very real thing because if it's out of your wheelhouse, so I got invited to dance on stage with a recording artist during this like radio concert, and I had been on the stage probably 5-6 times before then announcing, which I was totally fine with.
Yeah.
When he told me to come out and dance, my legs buckled. I couldn't feel my feet. Like, I remember my knees just feeling like my kneecaps felt like they were on fire, but then I couldn't feel them at the same time. It was just the weirdest thing. I could barely move.
Were you like, I get so weak in the
I was
knees,
very
I
weak in the
can't
knees.
Speak.
This boy.
What boy band is that?
That's SWV.
Oh, I don't know.
What boy band?
I thought he was making it up.
No.
I was like so impressed, and then he's like, what boy band is that? Like, that is sisters with voices.
I like them all.
Come on, brother.
I like them all, the sisters and the boys. That sounded really weird. All right, we're going to get sneak peek at a celebrity wedding. Thank God, Raquel. What's going on?
Here to save you, Jeff. Jennifer Lawrence is ready to say I do, and she just touched down in Rhode Island with her fiancé, Cook Maroney. The wedding venue will be the Belcourt of Newport, which is known to be haunted and even offers ghost tours. The rehearsal dinner will be on Rose Island, where staffers could be seen taking the Jamestown Newport ferry. It's reported to be an all-out extravaganza with 150 guests and an amazing wedding menu. Emma Stone and Adele might be some of her famous pals attending the ceremony.
I love it.
Thanks, Raquel. It looks pretty. Rhode Island in the fall?
I would love to go. I mean, we read out the menu yesterday, but like, that sounded mega fancy in itself.
Yeah.
Like beef and wood fire fish and all the fancy cocktails that they've got going on. I mean, I've never been to Rhode Island, so that's a tick off the old bucket list. Like, I want to go.
Yeah, see, here's my thing about really expensive weddings. I think there's a certain price point where the wedding stops being as fun. Like, have you been to like super nice weddings and they're like, I mean, like ridiculous? Like, I went to a wedding, it was over $1 million.
Wait, what?
It was over $1 million.
Who has that kind of money?
I was about to say, actually, the fun never stopped, but I've never been to $1 million wedding.
It was, and I was like, everything was very formal. Like, I didn't feel like I could just like really move, you know? Like, when I dance at weddings, I'm normally all over the dance floor, but I felt like everything was so formal that it felt like you couldn't.
I see what you're saying. You had to keep it like buttoned up.
Yeah, and then also like when you buy a present for someone, which I'm like, why would you have a registry and you have $1 million wedding? But whatever. When you buy a present on a registry like that, it's like, well, did I want to have like a super nice dinner with a bottle of wine that was of my choosing?
Yeah.
Or is it more important for me to be at this wedding and give you that type of a gift? Because it was crazy.
I was going to say, if it's $1 million, like, I mean, surely if you've got that much money, you don't need to ask for presents, let's be honest.
Well, they did.
Wow.
Like, they did.
That's a conversation for another time, because I'd be unhappy about that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Even royals have a vulnerable side. Just ask new mom Meghan Markle. The Duchess of Sussex got emotional when a reporter asked her a simple question: "Are you okay?" Let's watch.
So thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay? As in, it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
Now, Steph, did you expect that kind of real?
No,
honest
I think
response? She almost felt like she was welling up.
Oh, she was, and that's her really, being very aware that she is in front of a member of the press and the media, and that is going to be we're across the world now talking about it. But I think Harry has made it very clear that they're getting pressure from many different angles. He's seen it all before with his own mother, and that's why I believe he's so protective of Meghan. And just looking at that response, she's a member of the royal family, and she's almost in tears when a reporter has asked her if she's okay. I mean, that in itself is not a good situation.
And Erica, you've always said.
Oh, yeah, I do not envy her position.
And I was like, why not? She's a royal.
People seriously thought I was crazy as all get out, because everyone's like, oh, the princess, she's going to be a princess, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that is literally my worst nightmare. You have a 38-year-old, something like that woman, same age as me. She was married before and divorced just like me. You go through this self-discovery phase where you're like, I am going to be free to be me for the rest of my life. You fall in love with a prince, and you have all of these rules and restrictions. That's like the antithesis of being free to be me, and I ain't about it. I just feel bad for her, because I really do believe that they are majorly in love, and you can't help who you fall in love with. So I think if that were my situation and I had to restrict some things in order to be with my husband, then I guess I would have to do it in the name of love. But this is not an ideal situation.
Listen, I believe you. I think they are in love, and they both show it in their own way.
Yeah.
Do you think this takes a toll, though, on the relationship?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's got to feel guilt.
Oh, he will. You got to think, he grew up seeing his mum. I feel like the word suffer is unless you really follow the story. I mean, from first appearances, being a princess, being a queen, whatever, seems so glamorous.
Right.
But you got to remember, they're hounded by the paparazzi, and technically, their job is to ensure that England is represented in a certain manner across the world. They've got to go to every single military event that happens, every single veteran event that happens, every single, child orphanage event, everything, which is all great and amazing things, but they have to represent something, so they're not going as themselves, they're going as the royal family. They're working.
Yeah.
She can't even pick what colour nail polish she wants. The rules are that strict. Can you imagine?
No, I can't. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. All right, guys, a new movie about Nicole Brown's Simpsons' final days and murder comes out this December. It's a familiar story with a very unfamiliar twist. Let's take a look.
Nicole, do you want to tell me where those bruises came from?
I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't OJ.
You all right?
Yes.
Thanks, Ron. What's going on, sweetie?
I met another man. He was just someone I hired to work on my condo. Ever since then, it's like wherever I go, he's there. Like he's haunting me.
So, did OJ write that?
It seems like it.
It does, right?
Yeah, I don't understand. I do understand that this is based on a documentary, that there was another person in her life and he is the actual murderer.
Right.
But it feels like it's been debunked by so many other facts that this feels like harping on some type of conspiracy, and I think it's a little irresponsible.
I feel bad for the Brown family. You know what I mean? Because they have to relive this, it seems like, every day. And now just another conspiracy story is coming out. How do you feel about this?
Well, when we were talking about it earlier, so we had a meeting about this story, and I obviously hadn't seen the trailer. I thought, was it going to be like a Tarantino-esque? So, the story would play out, and then at the end, there's like a twist of fate. So
and we don't know how it's going to end.
We don't know.
Right.
But that impression was obviously very different to the story that most of us know. I don't know how
I mean, I think we do know how it ends,
Well, we
but I'm
do,
saying
but, you know.
how they write the story.
That's what
is
I mean. Like,
saying,
I thought the twist of it sounds awful. I feel like terrible saying the twist of a plot when it's someone's real life.
Right.
The twist of the plot would be maybe this other gentleman at the end. I feel really bad just saying this.
And that's why it's controversial.
Yeah, but I thought that would be the story rather than he was like stalking her and then all this other stuff.
But it feels like revisionist history. Like we're rewriting something, and it's based on it's a real story. Like it's ripped from the headlines.
Right.
So how can you rewrite something that we all live through?
I think people are just trying to capitalize on the story because America, quite frankly, was captivated by this story.
Yeah.
You know, so whenever it comes out, I mean, the People versus OJ wasn't that long ago. I watched all 5 parts of that series.
Yeah.
It was captivating, and I think the world is captivated by OJ. So sadly, I think they're capitalizing on that fascination, you know? And I don't know if it's right. I definitely think it's wrong for the Brown family.
I mean,
that they
yeah,
have
I can't
to go through
imagine that.
Yeah, it's got to be bad. All right, guys, DBL is live, and coming up, she's the hottest star of the year. That's Lizzo right there. She's being accused of plagiarism. So DBL Nation, do you care? We're sharing your comments later on in the show. And Gwen Stefani's style transformation. Stephanie Jones shows us the iconic looks next in Fashion Fix Friday.
Welcome back to DBL. I'm Stephanie Jones, DBL's fashion expert, and I've looked high and low for the week's top fashion news, so you don't have to. So let's kick things off with Gwen Stefani, a pop star, ageless beauty, and to many, a fashion icon. She's the master of style, but believe me, it was a bit of a bumpy road to get here. Remember her bright pink hair in the 90s? Oh yeah. So Gwen told Vogue that this was a result of a breakup, as well as being a very confused 29-year-old. Let's be real, we can all relate, Gwenny. And the good news is that Gwen is living proof that we all can overcome our worst blunders. So what other lessons should we have learned from Gwen? Lesson 1, extremely thin eyebrows need to stay in the past, unless you enjoy looking like you did your makeup with a Sharpie. Lesson 2, skirts over pants are a fashion crime worse than mullets and Ugg boots. And finally, wearing a tie over a bra makes about as much sense as wearing a tutu with a swimsuit. Makes me laugh every time I see that picture. Yet, I can't help but love her for the fashion risks. There's no doubt Gwen's style now is hella good. And coming up next, speaking of 90s babes, Selma Blair is my girl crush of the week. Looking magnificent in magenta, Selma wowed people with her pantsuit at the Time 100 House Summit. As most of you know, the 47-year-old is battling MS and just started chemotherapy. But damn, her swagger and style hasn't missed a beat. But it leaves me no choice to be a mega fan, and we're all rooting for you, Selma. And last up, Cardi B, oh wait, this way, and Hailey Bieber have got a lot in common. They're both very famous women, married to some very famous men, and those men love to shower their wifeys in gifts. Let's take a look at Cardi's birthday present, a cool 100-carat diamond ring. No biggie, but here's where Cardi and Hailey differ. Justin Bieber's wedding gift to Hailey was a beaded necklace that says wifey, and something tells me that it was homemade. So guys, I've got to ask, are you a Cardi and prefer the more expensive gifts, or are you more of a Hailey and prefer a rustic homemade prezzy? Let's be real, the necklace is cute, but diamonds are a girl's best friend, eh, Jeff?
My mouth was open from looking at the 100 carats.
I'm going to be honest, that's got to hurt to wear.
I mean, that looks so uncomfortable. I mean, look at her fingers. They're just like splodging out on the sides. It might even cut her.
I wouldn't even check the mailbox wearing that thing.
No.
I wouldn't dare leave the house.
I mean, I definitely would go diamond over bead, but...
Let's be honest. If the two were on the table, I know which one I'm taking home. Let's be real.
But 100 carats is a bit much.
It's a little much. We're on both ends of the spectrum here. Steph, which one would you prefer?
I'm taking home the diamond. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I made
Yes.
High maintenance, Steph.
That's not high maintenance. He
It's being
labored.
smart. You can buy a
Justin
house for
Bieber
that
labored
stuff.
over that beaded
To
necklace.
be honest, Steph, I just said high maintenance
That's
because
high
I wasn't sure
maintenance.
who was doing the tease, me or you. I guess
All
it's
right.
me.
Go on then. Take it, Jeff. I'll let you have
Thank you,
it.
Steph. Coming up on DBL, Lizzo says she's 100% that bleep, but is she? But is she a song stealer? Does that even matter to you? Steph should have read the tease. Coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. Singer and songwriter Lizzo is facing plagiarism charges for one of the most iconic lines from her hit song, Truth Hurts. Let's listen.
I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that even when I'm crying crazy.
So DBL Nation,
sorry.
Erica's jamming. Does the song being accused of plagiarism change your opinion of the song or even the artist? Steph, let's get right to their comments.
All right, well, Shayna says, yeah, but we all needed Lizzo to deliver that line. Hers or not, no one else could do it justice. I agree. I think she absolutely kills it. I've heard mixed stories on this, so I'm not 100% convinced that it's plagiarism. I think the producer...
But are you 100% that?
Beep. I like it.
You didn't answer, are you?
I said, yeah.
You said you like it. You didn't say.
I said, yeah.
All right, all right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Molly says, I feel like they should at least get some credit for one of the most iconic song lyrics in pop culture right now. Molly, yes, I do think credit is always best given to the person who deserves it. However, I will say, because remember, Cardi B really busted out with Kodak Black's, what is the song? Bodak, yeah.
I messed that up. Remember when I messed that up?
I'm 38, y'all. I'm 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was Bodak Black's. What is this?
You sound like me.
Whatever.
Erica. I got you.
Whatever. I'm honestly, I'm going to be honest.
You like
I don't
the
know if he
song?
deserves it. Yeah, I like the song.
That was a good take. That was a good take. All right, Blair says it happens all the time. Some singers are just so successful they get caught, but it won't stop me from listening. You're right. You know what? It's the best line ever. It made that song. Pay that man his money and move on with your life. Anyone know where that's from?
No.
Everyone watch Rounders?
No.
John Malkovich? Thank you, one person in here.
Well, Raylan says, I don't care if a singer copies a song, just as long as I can get my freak on when the beat drops. Thanks for writing in, Raylan. I love it. I'm not going to lie. This is her line through and through. And let's be honest, even if someone else did write it, it wouldn't have made it to anything near what it was without that song.
Okay. Well, Ruth says, as a former English teacher, I am absolutely opposed to anyone getting away with plagiarizing. Call it what you want, but it's stealing. Ruth, I understand your morals of academic integrity, girl. But let me tell you, without the sass, there is no song. So I do think that you should at least acknowledge who the original person was, but who made it will always be Lizzo.
Yeah.
There we go. Michelle says, we got to all 6 DBL takes, by the way. Michelle says, no, say it ain't so. That's one of my favorite songs. Michelle, it is so. And like Erica said, pay that man his money.
No, you said that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm great at impressions. We'll be right back.
I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that even when I'm crying crazy.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome back to DBL. Remember that Lady Gaga video we just watched about her falling yesterday in Vegas? Let's take a look in case you guys don't remember. Oh, yeah, that looked bad. Well, she did take that ice bath, as we saw, and she also took an X-ray, and it seems like she's okay. Let's take a look. That was an X-ray of her hand. That's on her Instagram. That really happened.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
All right. She's doing good.
All right then, yeah.
She didn't lose her sense of humor.
She did not. Yeah. And you think that guy's famous now, the other guy who dropped her?
Well, I didn't see no tag in that post.
I wonder where his Instagram is. It blew up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Obviously,
he's going to have free drinks all weekend.
That's right. Almost filled up the time, Erica. We'll see you guys on Monday, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody. That's Friday.